Hi guys, got my microphone out in a nice little hotspot on my phone, giving you a nice little live from the view. Right, see if I'm on Facebook. I have some peeps to jump on, getting today's content, super powerful content today. Got my coffee, got my can of water over there. I've seen a lot of posts on my lives, posts on my pages recently about people, very health professionals that are trying to give people advice about what's going on in the world right now and what people can be doing to help themselves. And I just wanted to put my 2 pennies worth in, to be honest with you. Oh, cool. Right, I think I'm live from what I can see. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, cool. So I can get out of here. Right, okay, I'll start with the content, guys. 5 of you on. Throw us up a comment, a message, where you are, how you are. Hope you're all well. I'll keep to, I haven't got my camera on today, so I'm going to look up at this little thing up here so I can interact with you very nicely. So, what do I want to talk about? Basically, does anybody know about the equinox? Basically, yesterday was like we have Midsummer's Eve, and you have like your longest day, that kind of thing. Yesterday was the equinox, which basically means that it's equal daylight and nighttime. So what happens is that's when I hear people that aren't in certain circles of wellness, health, and they'll say, "Oh, I can really feel the seasons changed." A couple of my friends in England said that it felt like it was the last day of summer yesterday. And I don't know about how aware people are, but effectively what happens is when you have that equal day of light and dark, your body will basically start to go into a cleanse. And this time of year, what always happens is the kids have just gone back to school, summer's started to be over, and people start to get like little coughs, little sniffles, that kind of thing. It's quite normal, and usually in normal years, we know that we have seasonal colds and flus, and it just comes and goes, right? Sometimes we get a bit of man flu, and it knocks us out for a little bit. But I think it's really clever what they're doing with, well, it's not clever, it's kind of a little bit scary, but it's clever from their point, that they're going to be, governments and stuff going to be saying, oh, if you've got a fever, if you've got the sniffles and stuff, and they're going to start, scaremongering maybe people to think it's more serious than what it is. Because what you need to understand and really appreciate, guys, is that this time of year anyway, our bodies will go into cleanse because of we're getting less vitamin D. We're going to get less sunshine, and if you have been staying in a bit more, then it's really important that you could be going out and getting sunshine on your skin and into your body. What happens this time of year when the nights start to get longer, days get shorter, is we have a deficiency of vitamin D. So what does that happen to the body? Well, basically your body is so clever. Your body is so clever, and it wants to heal itself, and the body and the mind are very much connected. We are beings, light beings, energy beings, and one affects the other. But what happens when we're in this cleanse, when our vitamin D and our body needs to start setting itself up a little bit differently for the winter months? It will basically excrete certain toxins and have this cleanse, and it will come out in the way of a sore throat, in our nasal passages and what have you, through sneezing and sniffles. And this is normally not something that we would normally beg your pardon for the pun, but it's not something we would normally sniff at, would it? So basically, in a nutshell, this time of year, what's going to happen is you're going to experience these things anyway. So please don't start panicking and thinking, oh, I've got a fever, I've got a headache, I've got something that is more sinister than what it really is. And that is just like, say, your common body's responses. Call it a cold, call it a flu. Okay, you could, go and have tests done, and it could be this or that or the other. But I think we're talking about a very small percentage of people that have to worry about what these colds and this cleanse is. And people that are of health professionals, medical people that have a spirituality and connection with faith will understand about the seasons and how it changes, and about us being light energetically, and how light affects us and how we affect ourselves by what we think, and our thoughts are super powerful. So let's just talk about a few things that what we would normally do with natural defenses when it comes to, say, these cleansing or colds and flus. What does our body actually need? Well, our body actually needs massive amounts of good hydration. And a lot of the time when people overeat, a lot of times that people get headaches, and a lot of the time when people are even overweight to a certain degree, is they will eat more food than they basically they need to be drinking more water. And you could like replace like, well, I want to eat something, and it's an old habit to eat and to fill ourselves and stretch our stomachs, which is really bad for us, because what a lot of people don't know is a lot of the neurotransmitters and hormones are actually produced in our gut. And our gut, it's so important to have good gut health, because it really affects our body because of the chemicals and stuff. And then when people are sometimes upset or they're worried about things, and that creates dis-ease, like a body that's not at ease. And then when the body's not at ease, it then creates problems in the bodies, and then we see it in different forms. So by having good nutrition, and by good nutrition I mean, unfortunately we've been, and up to recently I was very much the same as well, and we would, you know, a lot of the foods we're eating, processed foods and stuff that's put in the microwave and frozen meals, and being in lockdown again, I think is quite clever, because people will go out and they'll buy lots of, you know, fill up their larders and their dry stores with foods that basically is dead food, or it's not food that the body can actually thrive on. Okay, it's substance and it's just food, but it's not food that we've ever really, like, evolutionary wise, kind of supposed to be eating. So raw fruits and vegetables, super important to have enough, but we need to be eating like 6 to 10 portions of that stuff a day, which physically is pretty hard, right? So it's really important to have good nutritional support, and there's loads out there. It's probably not that cheap, but it's super important. Myself, I love Juice Plus, and at the moment, because I've been in Spain and it was actually something we had for the whole family, I miss my Juice Plus. And I'd, you know, and so I'm more mindful to have multivits and having more fruit and vegetables. And when I say fruit and vegetables, I mean just raw, natural produce. But unfortunately, there's pesticides and there's stuff in our foods anyway, chemicals, pesticides. So to try and eat organic and more plant-based, you know, it's good just to start somewhere. But then once you start delving into it, you know, there's more things that are going to create that dis-ease in the body. And of course, if the body's not in a favorable environment, what happens? We get disease in that body. And then because of things like pharmaceutical companies, they're all geared up for us to mask over the ailments of what we're feeling rather than being preventatory. And basically by having good, you know, being aware of what you're consuming in your body and in your mind, it creates a homeostasis for your body to thrive. And your body really is amazing, and it can heal itself. I hope you're hearing me okay. I've got the mic there. Your body wants to and can heal itself, but it all starts in your head and in your body, because what you think about, you create. We are energy beings. We are light beings. We need the light. Everything evolves around the light, right? So things like carrots, vegetables, root vegetables, all these things, they survive, they grow and thrive in their environment, and they are light. So we can eat more of those things, and they're going to be positively charged with light, and that's what our cells in our body need. If you've seen some of my other videos talking about us being a bit like batteries, in the sense of our cells are positive and negatively charged, but the more positive we are, as in like in life, being light and air and playful and being of a high vibe, it helps us to vibrate more. And if we say we're like a battery, it's like being fully charged. You've got more power, you've got more energy, and then that relates to so many other things in your life. So super powerful and important to know that if you're having a sniffle and a cold and these kind of things, that when your core temperature rises, because it wants to raise that temperature, because these bacteria and stuff in your body cannot multiply and survive when your temperature is so high. Yes, of course, if it's too much, then you've got to, you know, go to hospital or keep an eye on yourself, especially with children. But in general, the reason we have a fever and stuff is because that stops the spread or the growth of the things like these free radicals and these bacteria inside us, which attack our cells. So then what happens is our core temperature goes up, and then our immune system then it goes to work at fighting them. And our immune system to thrive needs us to be aware that we need to help it along. So what can we do for that? Well, positive mental and physical body. So moving your body, stretching your body, creating that environment for our bodies to thrive is super important. Having a positive mental outlook and living our lives in a positive way. I'm actually going to flip this over to, where's the one? Yeah, I'm going to flip that one over to there, because we're talking about thinking, acting and interacting positively. But also it needs the nutrition and the hydration. So make sure you're getting good vegetables, good fruit inside you, especially with what's going on in the world at the moment, especially because it's that time of year as well. You know, it's so easy to kind of eat a little bit less and just be mindful to throw a little bit extra like colour on your plate. That's really going to help you along. Creating good habits, creating better habits, especially if you've got kids and stuff. And I know it's hard work, but it needs to happen. It needs to happen. And this is the way that we can really help ourselves to create that environment for our bodies to thrive. And we will fight off. I mean, I prided myself, touch wood, touch anything actually, pride myself on not getting colds and stuff like that. And I was talking to my friend the other day when I went round, and we were talking about her son having a sniffle. And we were like kind of joking, but it's actually true what we were saying, that I used to go to five-a-side when I had like cold and flu, and I'd sweat it out. And of course then it makes sense of like people lie in bed, put extra duvets on, wake up sweating all night, and the next day they'll feel better, right? Why is that? Well, it's because of that core temperature thing, where our body will then allow whatever's wrong with us not to thrive and to get worse, and we will then have our immune system. That's why we have fevers, right? And what do people say? Get loads of fluids, get loads of fluids, get loads of fluids. It's not a coincidence. We all know this stuff. We've just not been that aware. And by us being more aware and more awake and being able to give more helping hands to each other, it's super important right now. Oh, cool. I've got a couple of, Mallory has thrown up a comment saying love Juice Plus, positive mindset is key. Yes, Mallory, thank you for your comment, and you are 100% right. Nutrition, it's the three pillars, you know. I mean, I talk about fitness and health, wellness, mental wellness, and positivity. Hi, Karen. Thank you for throwing up a hi. I hope you're well. Where are you watching from today? And I know that sometimes people think it's a bit woo-woo and this, and I'm not talking about anything that isn't fundamentally something that we can all do. And that's just being a little bit more aware. I mean, I know the diet that I used to have, and I'd have loads of sugar in my diet, alcohol. I would mask things, mask things with painkillers and stuff like that. I mean, I don't want to take any painkillers for my face today. My chest is so painful, and I still try to do a little bit to help my mum and dad with it because they moved house, and it's been really hard. Slept a little bit better last night. I admit I went and got ibuprofen, but I wasn't going to take the opiate codeine based stuff that the doctor at the hospital wanted to give me, because I know that stuff's like super like hard to come off of. And I had it when even they gave it me when I had my spinal surgery at the beginning of the year, that when I came out of hospital after like it was only a day, but I'd been taking it every like 4 hours, and I was like, right, I'm not going to take it now, I'm home. And I was like having like really down moments, and it kind of felt like the booze blues, but I was very aware of my state, and I'm quite a happy chappy person anyway. I'll say quite, yeah, very. Ding. So I was like, I'm not doing that to myself. And my dad thought I was a bit crazy and was a bit like, oh no, if you feel in pain, son, you need to take this, take that. And I said, well, no, I don't. So today I've made myself like a massive vegetable soup, had some good fruit and veg. I feel quite good. I've got some fresh air as well. Done, you know, I'm not going to exercise at the moment. I think it'd be foolish to, especially when I've had such an impact to trauma on my chest. So lucky I haven't broken anything, but it honestly feels just behind here, it's aching. And when I breathe in really deeply, it's painful. So I have to take care of myself, don't I? Of course, because I want to be back fighting fit, kind of not fighting. It does look like I've gone a few rounds with some boys, doesn't it? But I promise you, I'm a lover, not a fighter, and I wouldn't do anything silly like that. But I really wanted to come out because I've got a team call for my social media business about 9 o'clock here in Spain. It'll be 8 o'clock in the UK, wherever else you are, I'm not sure. And I thought it'd be lovely just to sit here and just enjoy a coffee and to show resolve, really. It's super important that I come out and do these lives pretty much every day if I can. And being that some friends and health professionals are out there doing lives as well, and you've got to be so careful because social media at the moment is blocking people. Even some of my videos on my private pages have been censored and stuff. I don't know why. I'm not sort of going out there kind of talking about conspiracy theories or having any outlandish views. Mine purely comes from, I would be saying this stuff anyway, but I feel that it's more important now to have a positive mindset, and I feel that it's really, really important to be sharing and giving information if you feel that you've got value to give. And so let's go back to what these 3 pillars are and what these fundamentally we're talking about, because we're going to get colds, we're going to get these sniffles, and let's just transcend this whole thing. It's a cleanse. Our body cleanses many times. We're not always setting it up for the win and setting ourselves up to thrive because of the lifestyle that we lead. And it starts with a thought. It starts in our own heads. And I'm supposed to have started programs, hypnotherapy and coaching programs with about 5 people this week. And we're getting there. People prioritize, I think, the wrong things in their life. The biggest asset and the biggest responsibility you have in your life is your own state and how you look after you. So if you're like, oh, I'm super busy and I'm running around, I'm stressed, it's even more important for you to take that little bit of time out for you and just be, we're human beings. We've got to do that whole being bit, and being the best we can be for ourselves starts in our mind, starts with putting ourselves first, loving ourselves. So how could we love ourselves more? Well, reach for that fruit and that salad and spend a little bit more time, say, prepping a dinner, which is going to give your family nutritional value rather than getting that takeaway. Use that money for a takeaway to seek some sort of self-development. Invest in yourself, whether it be just giving yourself some nice soothing music, running a bath and taking 10 minutes to yourself. And anyone that says I can't do that and I can't do this, well, that's bullshit. You've got to make time and prioritize you, because what will happen is you'll do everything for everyone else for so long, and then you'll hit a wall and you're going to be like at the top of snakes and ladders, and slides and ladders if you're on the US, for my US fans, and you're going to come all the way down to the beginning. Whereas if you've created those little set points, those little markers, you're going to set yourself up to, when you do have a little kind of don't feel too great, you're only going to come down a little bit because of your awareness and because of the routines and the habits that you've created for yourself so that you can thrive and be the best you can be. It's super, super powerful, and it's super, super important, because your mind is always listening to you. And if you're saying to yourself, I can't eat well and I haven't got time for this and I haven't got that, well, guess what's going to happen? That stuff's just going to keep showing up and showing up time and again. So you can change your language and you can change the way we think and talk to ourselves and have that communication and that relationship. The relationship we have with ourselves is the most important relationship in your life, because you've got to fill your own cup up, and we've really got to. And I didn't do this for a long time. Sometimes it's just about slowing down so that you can catch up. Because if you think about perception in a car, and when you're going about 100 miles an hour, I'm going to say 1,000 miles an hour, we're not quite there yet, right? But you're going 100 miles an hour and everything's just coming up very, very small, boom, 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 next to you. But when you slow down, your perception, you haven't got tunnel vision, your perception comes wider, you can see everything around you. And that's about then having that reflection and being able to take stock and actually be like, appreciate what's around you. We had all that, and some people put it to good use in the first kind of wave of lockdown. And some people probably kicked themselves and like, oh, I didn't do anything positive, or I got fat in lockdown and I just drank every day and watched Netflix. Well, okay, well, it's never too late. I mean, the beginning is always now. And every day you wake up is another day, another miracle, another day of life to thrive. And every day is a fresh day, a new chance. You've got one life, one chance to do, be and become anything that you want. But it all starts with you, and it all starts with a thought. Wouldn't it be like, I want this and I want that and I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, kind of not really going to get you there. It won't get you there very quickly. Or you could seek help, seek self-development, start making positive changes in your life and taking the steps towards what you want. And whether that's being a little bit more healthy, whether that's making sure that you're drinking more water, whether that's starting a self-development book, it starts really, really small. But this amazing game called life, this extraordinary life that we have in front of us, we only get one chance at it. And so we've got to make it the best and squeeze the lemon of life every single day to make sure that we're getting the most out of it. Because every day's gone past, you draw a line and the next day is another fresh day. So don't think that, ruminating in the past and thinking about the things you should have done, could have done, let yourself down. Well, just leave that shit behind you. It's done. It's dealt with. Every day is a fresh plateau to do something new. And I like to say to myself, when I do affirmations, that I'm getting better and better at this thing called life. Each day by day, small bits, getting better and better. And that's what I help people also with, clients. And I say, look, you're talking about a transformation, but you're not going to get there from A to Z. You've got to go from A to B, from B to Z, to B to C, from C to D. So make it like micro goals. Start small, but start somewhere. And any of you guys that are watching this, and I may tag you up in this and send it in private messages, your priority in your life is to invest in yourself. And then sometimes when people are like, I can't afford that, and they prioritize other things, the biggest scam I think in life is the automatic pyramid scheme of life, where we're supposed to go to school, get married, have kids, get into debt, keep up with the Joneses and local trends, and we should look like this, and we need this in our lives to say that we are fulfilled and happy. We don't need anything. You don't need anything at all apart from a good mindset and a healthy body. And so if you're looking and you're worrying about like the bills and the money and this, and you kind of juggle things around, I bet your bottom dollar, because we do these wealth workouts with people when we do coaching, mentoring, and especially in the business side of things, 'cause it's about being aware of finance and raising like your own financial set points and prioritizing where your money's going. There's so much shit that we spend on crap. I'm happy to say I don't anymore, and I live extremely thriftily. But when my assets will pay me back dividends, and then I can then use those to create more health and wealth, and help other people. And then from that, I can then treat myself and have good things. But I try not to waste the money that I do have, more like be grateful for what I have and respectfully do the right things with it. Not going out and spending 70 quid on a night out and a curry with the mates, when it's like I could have had another course or another coaching, mentoring program, which is going to take me somewhere where I've unblocked something, or a fear that I have. Because these are the things that hold us back. Usually things like limiting beliefs, fears that we have, and we create all those ourselves, because the only thing we inherently are scared of is loud noises and falling. Everything else has come from somewhere. So fear is a representation of false evidence appearing real, and it's also given to us. So at the moment, there's a lot of people looking at figures and facts and listening to this, and we've got to do that, and then being unsure and confused, and then that creates dis-ease in the body and mind. And then, of course, we want to feel better. What are we doing? We're going to go and reach out for something like a chocolate bar or something which is going to replace the feel-good chemicals that we can actually produce ourselves by doing positive actions or interactions, or doing nice things and thinking kindly and looking after ourselves in that way. So that is pretty much what I want to say. So I'll just recap that this time of year, when the energy shifts, this is what we're talking about, the season shift, the energy shifts. And what's a season change? It's to do with light and energy, and it's to do with those seasons. The light will will go from having more light in the day to more darkness, and then our body has to cleanse, and it has to change its physiology, and it comes out in the way of mucus and coughs. And so having masks on and not getting out in sunlight, these are all things which are 100% going to make a massive difference to our health and our wellness and our physiology. But we can completely take control of this and watch a little bit less of the things that are worrying you and scaring you. Reach for the good feeling things in your life. Hug your kids, pick up your phone, someone that loves you, focus on the positive aspects in your life. Think how lucky you are to be in the position you're in. Don't think about all the bad things that can happen. Focus on all the good things that are going on in your life, and you're going to see more of that stuff show up. It really does work, guys. And if people know about law of attraction, throw me up a comment, do me a hashtag replay. Talk to me about some of this stuff. I love law of attraction. I love the use of language and how we can, you can train our conscious minds to tell the automatic thoughts, the subconscious mind, which basically is working for us like 95% of our thoughts, 60,000 thoughts a day, and 95% of them we don't have any control over because they're all pre-programmed and they're just popping up by themselves. We can completely take back control of some of these thoughts and these feelings by just starting really, really passively doing some good things. Like I love these, like the most powerful 10, the 10 most powerful affirmations. Check it out on YouTube, and it's really good. I am worthy and deserving. I am attracting the right people into my life. These things you can say to yourself and just keep saying them. I love you, Terry. I love you, Brett. I love you, Terry. I love you, Brett. The more you say these things to yourself, the more they're going to show up, and you're going to start believing them. Because how do we create new beliefs and new habits? Well, the experts say 21 days, say 21, 28 days of doing something on repetition. And then when it starts to show up by itself, amazing. But don't stop. Change those affirmations. Challenge yourself. Keep growing. Keep learning. No one apart from when we left school is ever saying we don't have to learn anything new apart from when we start a new job. There's so much that we don't know, and we know so much more than we give ourselves credit for. We're not stupid. We are in control. We don't need to just run along with the mill. You have created this wonderful life for yourselves. Can you optimize and just tweak things ever so slightly so that you have the better feeling thoughts, be even better, more positive person in your family, with your friends? Thank you, universe. Yes, Karen, thank you very much. Giving Karen a massive shout out for her support. Thank you very much. Jamie Galdridge, what happened to your eye, mate? Check out some of my old videos. Couple back there. It will say about accident stuff. Basically just came off my bike, but I'm not going to talk about that. But yeah, go back and check that, mate. Drop me a message. Let me know what you think. Pretty brutal, but I'm fine, man. I'm high vibing. I'm cool. I was going to be back on my bike today, but I decided to not go that way because of the chest pains and stuff. I wanted to come and do a live and just give myself another day, really. Giving myself another day to recuperate. So right, I'm going to jump off, guys. Super powerful one today. Keep yourself hydrated. I love my coffee. Got my Kangen water as well, my 9.5. I'm going to start doing a few lives about hydration because can't do the fitness thing, because in fitness and wellness it's 80% diet, 20% exercise as a rule. So sometimes when I can't exercise, I've got to be extra careful about what I'm eating. And then sometimes if you're training, a lot of my buddies will know that, say for instance, or going out on Friday night, so we're making sure that we're actually going to do like a proper workout, long bike ride on the Saturday, because it's all about loving our bodies and creating that balance in our lives, because there's yin and yang, positive, negative, and they're always going to have to fill up to a whole. So if there's more good things happening in your focus, there's going to be less bad things happening, right? And the same the other way. If you focus on bad things, there's less good things going to show up. It's perfect sense. This is yin and yang. This is positive, negative. This is universal energy, and we've all got the stuff, miracles, and we've all got this energy that that breeds life and creates universes, and this is in each and every one of us. It's all there. Everything we need is inside us to thrive, be happy. All we've got to do is access it and change some of the things we're doing to more positive things, or things that are going to betterly serve us, and we just live happier lives. And shit still happens because it has to be positive and negative going on, light and dark. But it's fine. You choose how you choose to feel about these things. And yes, okay, with bereavement and stuff like that, it's just a case of time and coping and going through emotions with it. But there's certainly a lot of other stuff in your life you can either snap out of, let go of, and you choose to, or you choose to hang on to it and bring it into your existence. Because where you focus your energy, that's what shows up in your life. Where focus goes, energy flows. Okay, so thank you. I always enjoy coming out on these things. Always feel better for it, and I hope that anybody I still love that. I keep looking down at Karen's comment. Thank you, universe. Love that. Thank you. It's about grateful, being grateful for the things in our life. More things will show up. It says in the Bible, I think, even in the Old Testament, he or she shows gratitude for the things in their life will be given more in abundance. So super powerful, super true. And I really do have to jump off because I've got a call to get on. So love you loads, guys. Take care of yourselves, and you're very welcome, Karen. Thank you very much. Throw up a share, guys. Give us a comment, love, whatever you say, that more people get to see this important information and can follow the Terry lifestyle. Take care of yourselves. Remember, you're super powerful. I love you. It's important that you love yourself. because if you don't, well, you're not going to look after yourself as well, are you? Simple as. Toodles, guys. Bye-bye.